Well, hello again to all the boys and girls out there in YouTube land watching. Georgia Bear Reviews back at you today with another one. And what I'm looking at on this fine afternoon is another beer from the Craft Explorers line that is available at Lidl's stores. Now, we don't have a Lidl's here in my part of Georgia. I don't think there's Lidl stores at all in the state of Georgia. However, we do have Aldi's and Trader Joe's, similar to those type of stores where if you go in, they have their own line of beer, wine, possibly liquor if you live in a state where they sell liquor at grocery stores. But for sure, beer and wine. I bought a variety pack when I was up in Thomasville, North Carolina, and there were 4 different beers in there. I've reviewed 2 of the 4. This is the Gingerbread Ale. It is 6% alcohol by volume. The IBUs are not listed. And it says this unit is not labeled for individual sale. Okay. Brewed and bottled by Specialty Brewing Company of Wisconsin, Stevens Point, Wisconsin. So I believe this is contract brewed by Great Lakes Brewing Company out of Wisconsin. And it says an ale brewed with spices. So 6% alcohol, nothing too extreme. Natural flavors only. It doesn't say anything about artificial flavorings added to the beer. I have been very impressed with the Craft Explorers beers that I've had so far. I've had some of these 12-ounce bottles out of the variety pack, and then they have some stouts as well. The Imperial Coconut Stout that I had was awesome. So I've been very happy with these beers. So if you have Lidl's in your area and you are a craft beer drinker, definitely go check them out. You can get some really crafty brews at some not so crafty prices. All right, so there you go. There's the pour. It looks kind of black on the screen there, but when I hold it up to the light, it's actually just a deep brown color. Slightly hazy, but nothing really floating around in there. But a very nice looking beer poured with a little bit of a head, kind of a creamy looking head, which not a huge head, but the head that is there kind of is sticking around a little bit. The aroma, you guessed it, gingerbread, caramel, absolutely no hop presence on this one, at least on the aroma. One thing about these beers is they don't, well, it says the time, 7:36, and then it's 285 8SP. That is it on the whole bottle. So I don't know how to interpret that. Anyway, on the bottom of the bottle there is some gunked on residue. And actually there is something on the bottom now that the beer has been poured. 160.18 A-3. So if it was bottled on the 160th day of 2018, then it's not super fresh. But I'm not for sure that that's the case. It's a different code than what I'm used to seeing. Anyway, the beer smells nice. It's definitely malt forward, no hop presence, and you're definitely picking up on the gingerbread. So without further ado, let's get into this brew. Cheers, guys. Gingerbread is definitely coming through on the palate. Some nice caramel malt action going on as well. A toasted bread note in the middle of the sip. And then maybe just a slight bitterness on the finish to balance it out. It is pretty well rounded. It's an enjoyable beer. It's more of a dessert beer, I guess. It's like drinking a gingerbread cookie. Which I enjoy. I like gingerbread cookies. I like the flavors that this beer brings to the table, but this is not something I would drink too much of. It is very malt forward, and it is very sweet as well. So one or two of these, and I'd want to move on to something else. But for what they're trying to do, I think they definitely hit the nail on the head as far as the flavor profile that they wanted to get with this beer. The 6% alcohol is masked exceptionally well. You're not picking up any of that. No bitterness really, uh, except maybe just well, not really. I mean, that's a stretch to say that it has bitterness because it really doesn't. So it's actually it's not really the best balanced beer in that sense. But gingerbread cookies aren't bitter; they're sweet. So that's what you get with this beer. It's enjoyable. I don't think it falls into the excellent range for me. And if this beer is old, I'm not really sure. That could have something to do with the quality of it. Um, but I mean, you're definitely getting the gingerbread qualities to this. Um, it's definitely malt forward. It's definitely sweet. The body is medium. The carbonation is light, and the finish is not really dry, sweet, and I mean, it's a clean finish, I guess, but it's not really crisp. It's not super refreshing, and it's not syrupy, but it's a little heavier because of how sweet it is, I guess. But it's not a heavy bodied beer. But you really can't drink too many of these, I don't think. I think the sweetness would become cloying after about two of these. So anyway, I'm gonna go with an 80. I'm going to go with an 82 out of 100. It's a B minus for me. I've been very impressed with the Craft Explorers beers. This is my least favorite so far, because it's just not very well balanced. All of the beers from this particular variety pack that I bought, which I can't remember the name of off the top of my head, but all of them have been malt forward, and they say that on the box. It says the malt. This is the malty pack or whatever. The pistachio nut ale. This one, the red or the black forest cake ale, and then there was one other one. They've all been enjoyable and they've all been sweet, but the other ones seem to have a little bit more balance than this one. This one is just kind of sweet all the way through, and it just seems to be lacking something. It's not quite doing it for me, and like I said, after one or two of these, the sweetness would just be too much. But nonetheless, it's an enjoyable beer. If you like gingerbread cookies, you're definitely going to like this beer because that's what it tastes like in liquid form. So 82 out of 100, B minus for the Craft Explorers Gingerbread Ale. If you have Lidl's stores in your area, definitely go check them out. They put out some great beers at very reasonable prices. That'll do it for this beer review, guys. Hope you're all having a great day. And until next time, everybody, cheers.